Greetings from Jacksonville, Arkansas. Today is Sunday, March 16th, 2025, and the time is approximately 7:44 p.m. You guys, I'm about to make a pizza, and I finally got my hands on a non-stick pizza pan. This one is round. It does not have any handles. Years back when I lived in the Texarkana area of Hooks, Texas, I had a pizza pan that actually had a handle on it. And, this right here should work. It says, the details is it's by Mainstay. It's a non-stick pizza pan, and it's a durable non-stick finish. So, you all, right now, I will be using this pan right here to create a delicious homemade pizza. I did several pizza videos, but on the most recent one, I used the original pepperoni, great value, and I used Hermel pepperoni cup and crisp. So you all, this is the same packet. I just pulled these out of the freezer about a little over half an hour ago. I put them in a Ziploc bag and froze them so that they can maintain freshness, even though they have a good expiration date. You know that once you open things up, if you leave it in the regular part of the refrigerator, if you don't use it within 10 days, 10 to 12 days, it'll start to get a smell and it'll go bad. So this is what I have out here. I pulled out the Johnsonville, New Orleans andouille recipe smoked sausage. I will not be using this, but I want to tell you that if you do not have pepperoni, you can use the toppings of your choice. You can use Italian sausage, you can use regular sausage, that's similar to like a breakfast sausage. You can use that, like the grounded breakfast sausage. But this is the New Orleans sausage in the casing. It's really nice. If you did not have any toppings, but if you have any type of smoked sausage like this, you would just take this link and slice it like in quarter slices and thin slices and skillet fried in a little bit of cooking oil on top of the stove. Just a little bit to release the oils, and don't fry it until it get brown, but just enough to release the oils. And then you would use this for a topping the same way you would with the pepperoni, because once you put it in the oven, it's going to bake some more. I'm actually going to remove this and put this back in the fridge, because what I will be using is the pepperoni. And I brought out the mozzarella cheese. I only have a little bit of mild cheddar cheese in there, but I have a whole bag, 8-ounce bag of mozzarella cheese. Here I have Pittsburgh pizza crust. It is, it's the same as the thin and crispy Great Value brand. Now, they have been out of the Great Value brand crust for a while, so I finally was able to get some more of that. But just to be on the safe side, I also got the Pittsburgh version of the Great Value brand here, which is 6.5 ounce. And we're going to take a look at the directions. It calls for a half a cup of hot water and 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. And with any pizza crust, once you bring all of these, once you bring this stuff together, you're going to press the dough down, as illustrated in step 3. Press dough in prepared pan and generously prick with a fork, and then bake at 475 degrees. I'm not going to put my oven at 475 degrees. Everything would be burnt on lowest oven rack for 5 minutes. But it does say here, if the dough is too sticky, add 1 or 2 tablespoons of flour and then brush with oil. But here, top crust as desired, bake an additional 9 to 11 minutes. So basically what I will be doing is baking the flour crust once I make it out for about 5 minutes, and then I will remove it and then go in with the toppings. So I will be using, instead of using pizza you know, the pizza pasta sauce, I will be using regular Ragu traditional old world sauce. It's all the same whether you buy the small jar that says it's for pizza, or if you buy marinara sauce, or in this case like your traditional spaghetti sauce, which also can be used for making lasagna and other pasta, you know, dishes. So, but yeah, I have Ragu Old World. That's what I'll be using for the sauce on my pizza crust today. I also brought out this can of black olives. This is sliced black olives. I love this in a meatball sub, but I will not be putting any black olives, or will I, on this pizza this time. I kind of got a taste for black olives. We'll see. I might put some of those on there. But and then this is optional, you know, like I did in the previous video where I brought out the yeast. Now I have like here there's 2 that are empty, and then this pack of yeast have not been open here. So you don't have to add yeast, but I like to do it sometimes to these store-bought crust that you have to mix up together, because it gives it a unique flavor. So similar to like Domino's hand-tossed crust from Domino's Pizza. So you guys, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and take this non-stick pizza pan and get ready to get started here. How about we go ahead and remove this. Okay, so I just put the sausage, the not Jacksonville, what is the name of those sausages? Johnsonville, I believe. Cajun sausages back in the refrigerator. I actually just put them in the freezer, because I don't think I'll be using them within the next couple of days so that they can maintain freshness. But in the meantime, y'all, let's go ahead. This is 16-inch or in diameter, and it's equivalent to 40.6 centimeters. And let's go ahead and remove this label here from the pizza pan. That's the product information there from the non-stick pizza pan by Mainstay. So I'm gonna get this washed up. Be right back. Okay, you all, I am low on regular vegetable shortening and canola oil. I should have some olive oil over there somewhere. But you all, I'm going to just use the shortening right here and just continue to grease up this pizza pan. And when it melts, it's just going to turn into what would be considered to be a vegetable oil, okay? So we want to, even though it says non-stick, be sure to grease your baking pan, in this case a pizza pan. Be sure to grease it to avoid it sticking. Just because something say non-stick, that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to add oil. Okay, so you want to make sure, because this will stick if you don't put any cooking oil, and in this case I'm using shortening. And I'm ready to set the shortening to the side. Don't worry, it's not going to change the taste of the pizza. It's just going to make it crispy and delicious. All right. So now that's definitely enough cooking oil or shortening on that pan. You don't have to use shortening, but it's what I have. It's what I have available here. Without hesitation or further ado, let's go ahead and get the pizza crust. I'm gonna use, shall I use 2? Shall I double increase the size of the pizza crust, or shall I just do 1? I think I'll just do 1, you guys, just like I did the last time. I could, like if you're feeding a lot of people, don't just do 1. Use 2 packs and increase the amount of what it calls for. So if you're going to use 2 packs of these, you would use, instead of a half a cup of hot water, you would use a whole cup if you're using 2. And then, of course, you know, the packaging mix, and where it says 1 tablespoon of great value oil, you increase that to 2 tablespoons. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get all of this stuff mixed up. I have opened up the Great Value Thin Crust Pizza Crust, and I poured it into this bowl. I'm going to do 1, just like I did before. I'm going to hold off on doing a double batch of this because I don't want it to go to waste. And when you make pizza, you want your pizza to be ate within the first 12 hours, 24 hours, so that you will get the most out of your taste of your pizza. This time, I will not be including the yeast. I want to go ahead and get this crust going. So first, I would like to add some flavors. Okay, you all, on this crust, this flour, this is the time that you want to add whatever you want to enhance your flavor. Here I have grated Parmesan cheese. This is optional. I want to put this in here. Instead of putting the mild cheddar cheese on top of the pizza with the mozzarella, I'm going to put it directly in the crust. Okay, so this is mild cheddar. I only have a little bit of that. And so I kind of want it like cheese baked to the edge of the crust or inside. And this creates a different flavor, so you don't have to do this. But it's what I'm doing is customizing my crust. So I've added mild cheddar cheese, grated cheddar cheese. And then here I have Italian seasoning. I want to put a little bit of that in here. Also, if you are using yeast to enhance the rising and flavor of your crust, do not put the yeast in there directly with the flour like I did on the first video. You actually are supposed to mix the yeast with the hot water, and I'm going to actually use a little bit of this yeast. I changed my mind because I want to mix it with the hot water to show you that before you use yeast, yeast should be dissolved in hot water along with a little bit of sugar. And again, this is optional. You don't need to add yeast. So you want to make sure that water is hot. This is the hot side. It's warming up now. You don't have to boil the water because if you boil it, it'll kill the yeast. But yeah, see the water is getting hot. It's warm. I'm going to let it get a little bit more hotter. And then I'm going to add, well, let's see what is the call for. It says a half a cup of hot water. And then also you'll need 1 tablespoon of great value vegetable oil. Okay. Wow, that's hot now, you guys. So this is the 1 cup measurement, and it calls for a half a cup. So this is the half a cup right here. A half a cup of water right here. So what I'm going to do is set this here carefully. Okay, so you want to take this half a cup measurement of hot water and pour it directly into a bowl. And then you want to add a little bit of the yeast. No need to measure, just don't overdo it. I've opened the third one, the other two are empty. So you just want to sprinkle some yeast in there. It's only a half a cup, so I'm not going to use that much yeast. And again, yeast is optional, you guys. So now you want to go in with about a teaspoon of sugar. This is granulated sugar. And I should have showed you guys how to do that on the first video, and I didn't. This is how to properly use yeast for rising of bread. You must first dissolve it in hot water before you add, the wet liquid, before the yeast in the wet liquid before you add the flour ingredients. So I'm going to go in. That was a little less than a teaspoon. So I'm only using a small amount because I don't want my crust sweet. You see that? And because that's only a half a cup, I'm not even going to use all of that. So you just want to use a little bit of sugar, and then you want to go ahead and blend the yeast. In this case, it's Best Choice Fast Rising Yeast. This is just a store brand of Cash-Saver Edwards. There are many types of yeast out there. I believe the leading brand is Fleshman yeast. So, anyways, you see that color right there? This is how you know that the yeast is ready, that it's been activated here by adding a little bit of sugar and hot water. First, you're activating the rising agent in yeast that causes bread to rise. Now, without further ado, you see me mix grated Parmesan cheese and mild cheddar cheese and a little bit of Italian herbs seasoning in here. So you know how you see those crusts, you know how you order a crust that has cheese baked in there? You can do it yourself at home, you all. Also, if I didn't have this floured pizza crust, I would just take all-purpose flour or even self-rising flour and make my own homemade pizza. I've done that before with flour plenty of times. But this is a good guaranteed measurement. And so you want to take that yeast water with the sugar in it and pour all of that in there. And then, without hesitation, you all, you want to go ahead, let me get this rinsed out, and then you want to go ahead and I'll just come back to rinsing. You want to go ahead and work this in. And as far as the tablespoon of oil, you can put in your oil at any time. I might just put a little bit of shortening inside of the crust, or I could use margarine or unsalted butter. But I think unsalted butter might change the overall taste of the crust, so I'm going to hold off on that. I do have a little bit of canola oil that I will be using to blend this in here in a minute. Now, I've already greased the pan, but I will be drizzling a little bit of canola oil inside of this dough. But first, let me work this up as much as I can. I have my oven preheating. Y'all, I may not even need to drizzle this with canola oil. We'll see. So y'all, I got this dough worked up. Let me get all of that in there. All the flour here. Make sure it's all blended. See, I just added a little drip of water so that all pieces of the loose flour can be incorporated in here to create a perfect ball of dough. All right, you guys, our dough is ready. It's ready. I'm just going to press this a little bit more. And then you should have a perfect ball of dough. If it gets too sticky, remember to add a little bit of flour. Okay? But I remember I added a few drops of water on my hand. So there, you should have a perfect ball of dough so that when you lift it up, it's perfect. Now, let's set this bowl to the side. And let's go ahead without hesitation and press this on out on the pizza pan. Just want to keep working it. So you just want to spread it out. You can see the grated cheese in there, the Italian seasoning, the herbs, which is optional, and then of course the grated Parmesan cheese. Remember I said I customize my food to where it tastes good so that it doesn't just be bland. You don't have to do these things, you know, as a cook. You know what to do to make your food taste good. A good side option for this salad would be, I mean not salad, oh my goodness, for this pizza would be a salad. Or you can just eat it as is. But if you have a fresh salad, you can, you know, definitely make sure you have some fresh salad dressing and make a salad on the side. Put your boiled eggs in there. And
you guys, this pizza is actually excellent with tater tarts and ketchup.
I showed it in a separate video where I actually had a salad on the side. So I'm just going to keep working this. It says for thin crust, but I'm going to put it at the consistency that I want. So you guys, this makes a good size amount of pizza. So this is the size crust that I would like to have, at least as far as thickness. And so you just want to work that and just kind of pull it to, you know, spread out as much as you can. All right, and some parts may be slightly thicker than others. So without further ado, you guys, this is going to be the second clip of the video of me making the homemade pizza crust. I did use the Great Value one. I do have Pillsbury crust also, but I'm just going to use the Great Value one just like I did in a previous video. I'm just recapping from the first clip, how Ragu Old World style. And I have put in grated cheddar cheese into the crust. I put in Italian. I put in Italian seasonings. And I also put in some grated Parmesan cheese. So I put in grated cheddar cheese and Parmesan cheese, which is, you know, just your topping there for pizza topping. And as far as the garlic powder, I'm going to wait and I'm going to sprinkle that garlic powder on this pizza crust that I'm about to put into the oven right now. And again, I do have Hermel pepperoni cup crisp pizza and original pepperoni pizza, Great Value brand, just like before. So let's go ahead and put her in the oven. Okay, so you all, we're gonna bake this crust here, and yes, and I do have my new pizza pan that I'm non-stick that I'm using today. Finally got a hold to that. I wish I had a handle on it, but this will work. So y'all, I'm gonna bake this for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna take it out and add the toppings. Yeah, I'll take it out and add the toppings. I'm going to be taking editing that clip. Y'all, while the pizza is baking for 5 minutes, and we are at, the time is now 8:33 p.m., so that would be about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At about 8:38 p.m., I'll be taking the crust out, because you know you got to let it bake for a little bit before you add all the toppings to assure that you'll have a nice crust that is not doughy. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this bowl, and let's get all of that out of there, get my hands all cleaned up. I didn't have to use any canola oil because the pan is well oiled or greased with the shortening. Oh, you guys, my oven gets hot really quick. It has been exactly 5 minutes, as it is 8:38 p.m. Let's take this out. It's super hot. Oh no, y'all, I had a blooper. Let's put that pan there and let me quickly recover. You guys, it's all intact. No need to worry. So what happened is this is non-stick, unlike the previous stuff that I had before. And so what happened was, when I didn't keep my hand straight, it just slipped right out. This is the back side of the crust. And this is the side that I will be putting the sauce on. This is the side that you saw when it came out. So you can see how the cheese and the herbs is baked in there. But because my oven gets hot really quick, I did not put it on 400 and something. I had it like on 350. I'm actually going to flip. And I just turned the oven down to like 325. So I'm going to flip this back over. As you can see, the non-stick lives up to its name. And let's go ahead and without hesitation, without further ado, I have already opened the jar of Ragu Old World Style pasta sauce. And I'm going to do something a little different here. I want kind of like a garlic crust cheesy pizza. If I can get this garlic powder to open. Of course, I have some minced garlic, but it doesn't need all of that. I just need the hint of it. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder over the crust. Now, I'm going to spread on some old world style traditional sauce. I will not be adding any sugar or anything to alter the flavor of this sauce, because as you've seen, I put a little bit of sugar inside of the yeast, and we know that yeast is naturally sweet, and so in order to activate it in part 1 of the video, I had to add a little bit of sugar. So let's see here, right here, let's give this old world style pasta sauce a stir. Let's stir her up. Now, I rinse the lid off too, you know, whenever you buy these jar of pasta sauce, that it's going to have spaghetti sauce in the middle. So I did rinse this off camera. So this really makes some good spaghettis, and so do Ragu and some other good pasta sauce out there. So you guys, I'm just going to reach over here and spread her on. Yeah, y'all, this nonstick really lived up to its name. When the last pizza I baked using an old cookie sheet, that crust was stuck on there. I had to work the edges, but not this one. So be careful if you're using a non-stick pizza pan by Mainstay. So far, so good. As long as the Teflon has not been worn out, it should not stick, especially after you have like oiled your pan down like I did, you know, with the shortening, using the shortening, vegetable shortening. All right. So you just want to spread this on. And the reason why I put it on the dark side is so that the pizza doesn't overcook, or the crust doesn't overcook, to allow this side to bake, okay? So y'all, this is enough sauce for me. If you like more tomato sauce, what is that? Is that a piece of, maybe a bit of onion from, no, that's just a cheese. I didn't know what that was. That's just a grated cheese there that come up out of there. If you like more sauce, you can add it. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. Just a little bit more, okay? So I want this to be tasty, but you don't want to overdo the sauce. All right. All right, that's going to be more than enough. And then without hesitation, let's go ahead and put some grated mozzarella cheese on the pizza pan. So I have opened the mozzarella cheese back here off camera. This is an 8-ounce bag. And let's go ahead and put some on the pizza. You just want to sprinkle that mozzarella cheese over that pizza. Let me get the spoon out of here. So I just poured on some mozzarella cheese, and you just want to spread that over. If you want your pizza super cheesy, you just add more cheese. How about a little bit more of mozzarella? How about we add a little bit more of the mozzarella cheese? Hey y'all, off camera, I just took some more shortening and just went underneath this other side of the crust to assure that, you know, I just kind of move the pizza over a little bit and put some more shortening, as you can see, under there, to assure that the oil that the pizza has, helping, you know, like make it flavorful. But of course, cheese contains oil as well, and so do the pepperoni, so it's optional. But I just thought I would let you all know that I did add a little bit of oil, not a lot. You know, just the shortening, the white shortening, just like I did on clip 1. So I have spreaded the cheese over. I put the cheese back in the fridge. And so we're going to go ahead. Now, for those who just want to eat cheese pizza, you can bake it just like this. But I want to put in some pepperoni. You can put as much as you like. And I did smell it to make sure that the ingredients are not spoiled. The toppings are not spoiled. So I want to go ahead and just put in generous amount of pepperoni as you like. On the first video, I think I was on the safe side and I didn't really put that much on there, but I'm going to try to power up as much as I can. Goodbye, Papa John's. Goodbye, Domino's Pizza. Goodbye, Pizza Hut. Sometimes, you guys, they used to make their food like really good, but the last Papa John's pizza I got, you all saw the video where I had to have them to send it back. It didn't even look right. The black olives looked like they were on their last leg, and then it was cold on top of it. It wasn't even hot. And then when he did replace the pizza, y'all, my mouth got supernaturally like dry. like so dang on dry, and I went into a deep sleep. So I don't know if there's an entity trying to do something. So if I want pizza, if I want chicken, whatever I want, I make it myself. Look, I took this bag of chicken, frozen chicken legs, drumstick, which came from a 10-pound bag out the freezer. And so if I want fried chicken, if I want baked chicken, barbecue chicken, whatever kind of chicken I want, I make it myself, whether it be wings, legs, whatever. I ain't taking no chances with some entity possibly tampering with our foods. And so I'm like not to accuse anyone of anything, but you know, that stuff costs too much money for it to be, you know, for you to get something and then nobody eats it and stuff like that. So, and I'm just not taking any chances, you know. So I decided if I want pizza, you can't go wrong if you're doing it yourself. So I did put in quite a bit of the original Great Value brand of pepperoni. Y'all, please get this. I still have this from the last time. When I'm done, I'm going to put them back in the freezer so they can be froze solid to minimize them from going bad. And this is what I have left of the Hormel pepperoni cup and crisp. These, when you cook them, they turn into like a cup on the, and they're kind of a little spicy like the shakaroni pizza at Papa John's. So I'm going to put that on there. Y'all, I changed my mind. I believe this one may be going bad, so I'm going to discard it. Maybe give it, you know, just throw it out. I'm not going to use the Hormel pepperoni. I have to buy a new one. It smells a little off to me. But this one, the Walmart brand, is good, and I love the way the Walmart brand tastes, so I'm going to leave this one out. I'm going to discard it. Y'all always smell your meats and things before you use them. And, yeah, always smell your meats and things before you use them. Now, it just, to me, it smells a little loud. Yeah, so with that note, I'm going to go in and grab some more of the original Great Value brand pepperoni. They smell nice, and they are not bad. I'm glad I smelled that pepperoni pizza. You know, stuff can go bad, you guys. So you want to always smell your meats or your foods to assure freshness, because if you bake or cook anything that is sour or going bad, you can get sick, and it's going to mess the whole thing up. So things like this can happen. But this one is perfectly fine. So and I really love the taste of this Great Value Walmart pepperoni. Sometimes you can't get good store brand pepperoni pizza, but I have to tell you, this stuff is good. I wouldn't be surprised if restaurants is using this Walmart brand pepperoni for their pizza. Now, I could put some cheese on top of it, but when it's baked, it should go into the cheese. So let's go ahead and put her in the oven. So we're going to get ready to put her in the oven, and I did use this one, the thin and crispy pizza crust from Walmart Great Value brand. That didn't want to come out right. Possibly, I also have this one, Pillsbury pizza crust, thin and crispy, but I started to do like a double batch and make the pizza bigger. But this is going to be big enough, so no need to make 2 packages of this stuff. I started to mix the Walmart Great Value brand with Pillsbury. It's not necessary unless you want to eat a bigger pizza, or you're feeding more people. So let's go ahead and bake her. So don't want that incident to happen like before where the pizza slid out, because this is a new non-stick pizza pan and by Mainstay, so I made sure that I didn't tilt the pan. I was assuming that it would stick, but I just want to be careful. Remember that this is a whole different pan, so this is my new pizza pan. I'm gonna let this bake. My oven is hot for about 9 to 12 minutes. Y'all, the pizza has been baking for a few minutes, It's looking grand. So the ideal is just for the cheese to melt. And let's take a look at this crust here. The pepperoni is looking good. And so this is basically ready. So what I'm going to do is turn the oven off. And I'm going to let it sit for about 3 minutes. Be right back. Y'all, without further ado, let us take her on out. Our pizza is ready. Oh, that's hot. I have took the pizza out of the oven. I had to get my other glove mitten here. I'm just going to set it here. And you guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this pizza to show you. Look at the beauty of this homemade pepperoni pizza. I've done this before and just thought I would share this with you guys. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut her up and I'm going to get ready to finish this video. And let me cut her. Just 1 second. Look at the cheese. Look at the quality of this pizza. Let's take a look at the crust. Nothing is sticking here. You can see the beauty of this crust is perfect. And remember, this crust has been customized to suit my taste, as it has grated cheese, Parmesan cheese, and Italian herbs baked right in. And of course, I topped it with Ragu, Old World pasta sauce. Black olives is optional. I'm going to leave it out. I did leave it out this time. I know I should have a pizza cutter, right? But I just have the knife for now. So I'm just going to cut her all the way down. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to take the knife and work to cut her open here. And there we go. I managed to get it cut. How about that? And so, especially not having a cameraman, which I wished I had one, if I hadn't said that 1,000 times already. So, you guys, I have finished this baking and preparing this homemade pepperoni pizza. And you guys, I hope you follow my instructions and you will not be disappointed. Okay, you guys, this is going to complete my video. I thank you guys for watching. Look at how that mozzarella cheese pulled. And let me get this spatula. I'm just going to plate her up. And I hope that you guys are enjoying your weekend. Yes, tomorrow is Monday. Take a look at this. Look at the pulling. Look at the cheese pulling on that. So you guys, look at this slice of pizza. What do you think for homemade? And there you have it. My pepperoni homemade pizza with a crust that has been customized with cheese, cheddar cheese, and Parmesan cheese baked right in there, along with some Italian herbs. So, you guys, let's take a look here. You've seen the cheese pull on this pizza. I'm going to get ready to eat, and let's see if I can find something to drink with this homemade delicious pizza. Right here, you guys, look at that delicious pepperoni baked right on there, and that cheese pulling. That's the mozzarella effect of pulling, the cheese pulling. Here I have crushed grape. It's not my preferred choice, but I will see, you know. This is just an ideal of what you can have with your pizza. And I hope that you guys enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's see if I can get a thumbnail. So, okay, you guys. I just pushed the pizza pan right over here to try to see if I can get a better thumbnail. We'll see what happens. With that note, you guys, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to pick up some pizza crust. And you won't go wrong. And don't forget to pick your packages of pepperoni up of your choice. Or if you want to do Italian sausage or regular, whatever your toppings of your choice, go right ahead and fix your own homemade pizza. And you can't go wrong. With that note, I'm out.